And we are back. Bass Galaxy. Mike Iaconelli, you sent out cosmic waves through the Bass Galaxy. The last time that happened was the Clun show. Tons of positive vibrations, and both of you are Hall of Famers. Isn't it ironic, don't you think?
That's crazy. I'm in good company. If it happened with Clun, I'm in good company.
And you said off the air that it was no strange coincidence. You're used to that with Ike Live.
Very used to it. Very used to it. Yeah, I would say 99% of our regular Ike Live shows have some kind of technical glitch in them. Now, it's nice because I'm doing these Ike Live 2.0s now, and it's just me, pushing the buttons myself. Man, they're perfect. Yeah. But you get those other knuckleheads involved,
it's just like running a sonar, right, Mike? It's just like running the low rants. You know what I mean?
It must be. I don't know.
You were the first guy to be branded by the fraternity of bass fishing, I guess. That's not what we were talking about. We were talking about branding, and I guess as far as bass history, in our opinion, you're the guy. Ray Scott started branding from the inaugural event, of course.
Yeah.
But you're the first guy to go extra. I think you're the first guy to go extra.
I appreciate that. It's been fun too. The thing about it is when you're starting your career and when you're building your brand, you honestly, besides having this mentality of your brand is who you are, besides that, it's all like it's like something you're building, right? It's like, it starts as a foundation and then you put up the wall, it's that kind of thing. So to look back on it, 25 years later, it's incredible.
Yeah. You're still floating. You're still floating, Ike. You're still floating.
No, I'm just saying I never imagined it getting to this point, where, there's all these elements to it, and it's mind-blowing, man. It's mind-blowing.
Complex creature, this bass fishing. Has bassin' ever let you down, Mike? Has bass fishing ever let you down?
Well, I think you're going to have speed bumps in your career, and you're going to have speed bumps in your life. But, I don't necessarily know it was fishing or bass fishing that was the ultimate culprit of those things. The best example I can give you is, right before I won the Classic. So this, we're talking about 2000, late 2002, 2003.
Pivotal point for you. Pivotal.
Yeah. Pivotal point. So, my personal life was really bad. Like I knew a divorce was coming, my marriage was failing. I'm having one of the worst seasons of my life. Can't catch a fish. Sponsors, I won't even name who, but sponsors are, I already know I'm on the chopping block. Like legitimately, my life is a disaster. And when you're going through those things, your first instinct is to blame something, right? Oh, it can't be my fault. It's got to be something's fault. And so, my instinct was to blame fishing. And I remember saying, man, my life is terrible right now. It's all because of fishing. It's all because of this passion I have. I can't stop doing this because I love it. It's all because of that. I'm going to quit this sport and become a normal guy. Normal 9 to 5.
That's a rock and a hard place, Ike.
I'm going to go back and get my teaching certificate and become a normal guy.
Oh, no.
And my life will be perfectly normal and boring. That was my mentality. And it was wrong. Like I look back on it and I get it now, right? All those things when you step away for 5 or 10 or 15 years and you look back and you're like, yeah, I get it. I understand why I was thinking that, but it was so far from the truth. It wasn't fishing's fault that those things were happening. So yeah, I've had speed bumps in my life, in my career, but it's not fishing's fault.
It was you were self-aware enough to realize you were the problem.
Yeah.
Very good, Mike.
There were other reasons. It wasn't fishing.
Very, very good. With that being said, you've had a lot of amazing days, though, in your bass fishing career, obviously. And out of all those days, Mike, which one of those days is the most reoccurring day in your mind? Like, which accomplishment of yours in bass fishing do you think of? Whether it's a club derb, whether it's a bass match, anything that has ever happened to you in bass and fishing, which one reoccurs the most?
Boy, that is an unbelievably complex question.
Thank you. I didn't mean it to be.
It's an unbelievably complex question that, I think the obvious ones are there, right? I think your first fish that hooks you in the sport, you remember, right? I'm sure, Pat, close your eyes. You remember the fish that sent you in this path. So that was, I remember that like it was yesterday. I was 12. I don't know how I remember it, but I can close my eyes and remember it. The big wins, classic. Angler of the year. Like, I remember the pivotal moments in that year of those 11 tournaments. I remember that. Like, they're all great memories. My win on the Delaware River, 100%, one of the most amazing moments, those fish catches. And I remember them. I remember the fish losses in that tournament.
Yeah.
But I think, now maybe it's because I'm I've crossed that hump in my competitive career. And I know I have. Like, I know the reality of aging and your performance peak. I know all that. So, but now, like, the most amazing moments right now are the moments that I get to captain Vegas.
Nice.
And just like I remember every single second of those fish catches from those tournaments and all that other stuff, now I'm getting to watch his moments as a dad and as a coach of him, and as somebody that loves the sport. I'm getting to watch my own son have those moments. That's pretty freaking righteous, dude. Like, that's the deal. And I don't know that anything's topping that right now. It's actually trumping all those other ones.
That's a cool full circle right there, Mike.
Super cool.
I like it. And
Super
we're going to talk a little bit more about Vegas later, but that kid's a force already. Yikes.
Crazy.
Hey, man, it's evident that you are passionate about everything in life. Everything that you do, you convey passion in. And were you always like this? Like, were you like that as a kid? Were you like that in high school, Mike?
Yes. I mean, on things that the things that make me excited and make me happy and I'm passionate about, absolutely yes. Things that I sort of, I'm like, sometimes it's hard to get to the next level on those things, but for sure. Like, when I look back at the other things I really loved as a kid, like, I just give you a short list. Like, Pat, I remember when I was breaking, when I was b-boying, I was breakdancing. And this is, the early 80s. It's like 82, 83. I can remember some of the crews that I was breaking for, and I can remember those battles. And, one that sticks in my mind all the time is, at the time I was with a crew called DGC, and the acronym was Devastating Ground Controllers. And it was a really cool crew because it wasn't a town crew. Like, my first couple crews were crews that were in my town that I lived in, or neighboring towns. This crew was a crew that was like a Jersey Philly crew.
Okay.
And it was amazing because, like, you had to try out for this crew.
I'm seeing like a South Park episode going on right now.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, these dudes could throw down.
Yeah.
And this was a real crew. And I remember we had a battle at a club here called Sparkles.
Nice.
And Yeah, it was called Sparkles. And
that wasn't the strip club, Mike. Are you sure that Sparkles wasn't?
It was not the strip club. No.
Okay.
And you got to remember, I mean, I'm like freaking, I'm not even old enough to drink yet.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm going in these clubs. Anyway, I had this battle with another crew from Camden. And their best breaker was this guy named Sean.
Oh.
And I remember it was like this direct battle with me and Sean on the upper stage. Now this was next level shit because they had a backroom dance floor, which is where the breakers always went. But when the breakers would get up to the top second floor stage, dude, this was amazing because you had a lot of people, hundreds of people dancing. Then all of a sudden the circle would form, a song would come on. And I remember that night because this song came on. It was a song called Captain Rock. And when that song came on, dude, it was like a switch triggered.
Uh-oh.
And I remember doing this routine with windmills in 1990s and battling this guy who was considered the best. And I won, you know, and like the excitement and the energy was the same there as it was in hockey for me as a kid, as it is in fishing. And, you know, I think I always had the ability to let go to where those moments were unbelievable. The highs of those moments and the lows of those moments too. You know, a win or a loss at a hockey game, I kind of had the same reaction then that I do now in fishing. You know, it's always been the same, you know?
Yeah, dude, and it shows. And screw Sean, you know? That kid can't even break, you know?
I wonder where Sean. Yeah, I often wonder where those guys are at nowadays. You know.
Hey, were you good with the ladies back in those days, Mike? Were you a ladies man?
No, not really. Honestly, not really. Let me try to explain this. I got this mentality early as a young adult that, you know, like I never try to say this the right way. Like I never wanted to work for it. And so I had a lot of buddies that didn't have to. Like everyone knows a guy that, dude, they just walk into place and the hottest chicks in the whole place.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Kelso on the 70s show. Yeah.
Right. I never had that. And I had a lot of friends that didn't have it either, but they would hustle and work and I never had that. I always, like from a very early age, I always just kind of had this mentality that, you know, and not that I was antisocial, but I just had this mentality of, you know, I'm not going to do that. And when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. When I meet the right person, and almost have left it up to fate for a very long time when it comes to relationships and women. And so I wasn't really a ladies' man at all, to be honest with you. And, you know, I've had some amazing experiences and I ended up with the most amazing woman. And I think it is fate, you know, it's fate that I ended up with her. And she's, you know, you hear people, you know, you're your soulmate or whatever. And she's the one for me.
You're a very admirable couple. 100%. Very, very, very.
We deserve each other.
Nice. But I got to be honest. I mean, no disrespect, but I kind of thought, you know, you were macking on breaking babes back in the day. You know what I mean? Breaking two electric boogaloo.
I mean, the thing is success, you know, when you have success in something that opens up those barriers, you know, and I'm not going to say I didn't take advantage of that, you know, in breaking or when I was a DJ or when I was playing hockey or even when I was single and successful as a professional fisherman. You know, success opens up doors, and I didn't shut those doors. I let them doors stay open if things happen, but I was never the guy that was, you know, a Casanova or whatever. That was never me.
Who was your first crush, Mike? Who was in the spank bank first from Mike Iaconelli?
Man, I had a lot. I would say my first real crush was a girl that lived in a neighborhood town in those breaking eras, and her name was Colleen. She was just a
Irish
really cool
lass.
chick.
Okay.
Yeah, she was Irish. Really cool chick. And you know, we ended up having a little thing for a while, but we ended up sort of becoming friends, which sounds weird, but I think that's a good lesson early in adulthood that, you know, you kind of know when it's going to happen and when it's not, you know, so
when it's right.
Yeah, when it's right, and that was one that was, she was a great chick. She still is a great chick, but it just wasn't in the cards for us,
Who was the first celebrity crush, Mike?
First celebrity crush.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Who was that one? Who was the babe that you were thinking about after school special?
Yeah. I mean, I think Pam Anderson on Laserdisc, Playboy Laserdisc is definitely, can I say Tracy Lords, or is that illegal?
No, absolutely. You can say Tracy Lords.
I mean, at the time when you're that young, but I don't know. I can't really pinpoint one.
Kelly Bundy, maybe back in
I don't know. I remember having the posters. Like, did you guys have so we had malls back then were a big thing.
Spencer's malls Gifts. Yeah, Spencer's.
Spencer. Yeah, you had a Spencer's. Yeah.
I had the Farrah Fawcett poster with the nips.
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett, right. Like those, like I remember those, and you'd go through those, holy shit, and you'd get back to your room, and the bedroom that I had was like a cubicle, my bedroom was like the size of my, closet right back here that we're looking at. But, I remember having those posters on the wall and all that stuff, Yeah.
Dude, it's a long way. It's a long way where you are now. Let's think about it. All right. So here's the deal. So all right, Mike Iaconelli, Hall of Famer. The future is bright for you. The future is bright for bass fishing. The future is bright for the world. And they're going to make a movie about you, Mike. And who is the guy that is playing Mike Iaconelli? Who's playing Mike Iaconelli? Who's the actor?
Oh, man. I don't know. I want somebody that's funny. Who's the Chris Pratt?
Okay, I like that. Good choice.
Here's the thing. Chris Pratt's funny mother. I don't know what I can say on the show.
You can say whatever you want, Mike. It's the internet now, and it's the cancel culture's done.
He's a funny dude. I'll say it like that. He's a funny dude.
Okay.
And I like his movies, and I've seen him in interviews. He seems
he bass fishes too.
And he bass fishes.
Yes.
So my Chris Pratt claim to fame Chris Pratt story is back when Fish My City was launching.
Yes.
And we came up, it was great too, because, it wasn't Nat Geo, or it wasn't Nat Geo's publicist or the PR team. It was us. It was the ladies in the office and me that concocted this scheme, this publicity scheme to hustle some PR over in Philadelphia. And I went over and fished in some of the sewers over there. And it got a lot of exposure and attention. And I remember that we put the clips on, all the news channels covered it, and we were able to put those clips on social media. And Chris Pratt tweeted me.
Really?
After he saw that clip.
No shit, he did.
He did.
That's awesome.
I tried tweeting him back to start a conversation. I never got any message back.
He ghosted you.
He ghosted me, but he did tweet me. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, though. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
The future of bass fishing is good, Mike. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I think it's got a lot of hope, and I think it's got a lot of good elements. And I think like other sports, there are growing pains, and you have to work through stuff. You've heard me say this before. Listen, baseball, football, hockey. Google this shit. 1880s, 1890s, early 1900s. Bass fishing, 1970s.
Yeah.
Right? So,
we're still embryos.
We're very, very young as a sport. So, so we're going to have some of them growing pains. But, as far as growing the sport, I think we're in a good place. And I think, if we can just keep focused on getting kids and new people to look at it, to try it, to want to watch it, to want to participate. If we can keep doing that, sky's the limit. I really believe that.
I agree. And I mean, and we talked a little before, amazing anglers up and coming, like your son Vegas, like Gluszek's boy Jake, and the high school programs, the college programs. Man, it's all, there are so many opportunities now, Mike, so many more that you and I and many others didn't have It's crazy. It's a plethora of opportunities now, isn't it?
A lot of opportunities, and it's super exciting to see the sport growing competitively from an earlier age. But there's still a lot of room for growth. One of the big things that I want to see, and I hope to get to see this in my lifetime, is when you look at other competitive sports. Vegas also plays soccer, so let's use soccer as an example. You see coaches and camps and travel teams and facilities that take these youth and take their performance and skill to the next level. We don't have that in fishing yet. I would love to see that in my lifetime. I would love to add that to this amazing momentum we have with getting kids involved at an earlier age. And I think that's going to come. I think that's definitely something that's going to happen.
Heck yeah, Mike. And speaking of the Ute, I have some Ute that has just joined us here, and it's Logan Parks, our Abu teammate, and he's going to be competing against you next year, Mike. So let's give it up for the one and only Bassmaster Elite Series angler, Logan Parks. Wow.
Yes.
Look at that.
What's going on, guys?
And
Logan.
Look at this guy, Mike. Look at him. He's yeah.
I love it. First of all, congrats. I just said this to Pat before you came on. I'm a huge fan of the sport. So I've been following along with those EQs. I'm like a schoolgirl, update, refresh, because I'm watching points and stats, and hell of a season. Congratulations, man. I'm so stoked for you. Can't wait to be out there with you next year.
Yeah, welcome
Thanks,
aboard.
Mike. I appreciate it, man. It was a battle all year long, and super, super blessed and thankful, and looking forward to fishing against you, man. It's I've looked up to you my whole entire life, and you've been a huge inspiration for me, and it's pretty unreal to say that I'm going to be competing against you. That's wild, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And it likewise, like, I feel like I've come full circle too, just watching you in your career, and you've worked hard. I mean, that's the main thing. It's like, there's probably a lot of young people watching this or listening to this, and I want them to know that, dude, you work hard. This didn't happen on its own. You've been at it a long time, from the very beginning, from when you were just riding along to now, and you deserve it, man. That's part of this equation, is hard work. You could be the best fisherman in the world. You could have the best personality in the world. You could be the most handsome man in the world. But if you don't put that work in, if you don't put the time in, that dedication, it means nothing. So you've done that, and you deserve it. You deserve to be out there. You
know what else he's got going for him, Mike? Money.
What's that?
Yeah, he won $500,000 in that big derb, remember? For crying.
I mean, that helps.
Yeah.
It's got to help, because I know the feeling. I mean, I've never won that kind of money, but I do know the feeling. So I can vividly remember when I qualified for the tour. I remember being sick to my stomach, knowing that there was this giant bill in front of me. I was still working at Dick's Sporting Goods, for crying out loud. How the hell am I going to pay for this big bill ahead of me? I remember that sick feeling in my stomach. And the second tournament of the year that I fished, the second pro event I ever fished in my professional career, I won. And it was a lot less money back then, but it was a cushion, and it was at least a foundation at which it took a little of that knot in my stomach away, and it gave me a starting point. So it's great that you have that, and let you fish a little different, let you fish a little freer.
Yeah, it definitely does. It has the past 2 years fishing the Opens, just knowing that I've got a little bit more financial backing than I'm not like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it home. That's helpful.
Takes a little pressure off.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, Mike, you said it very well that Logan works hard, and there's no doubt about that. And something that he's working pretty hard on right now that I'm sure you've seen, Mike, is the high school college chaos event with Abu Garcia. And what Logan, what exactly is the high school college chaos event, Derb? What is that? What is it, Logan?
Yeah, so it's a tournament that we're hosting this fall through a nonprofit that I've started. That's one thing that I really respect you for, Mike, is all your hard work and trying to grow the sport and everything that you do. And I know you're a million miles an hour in a million different directions. And I'm kind of trying to, you've inspired me to also do the same. And obviously I'm not just burning through all of that cash that we won. I'm trying to put it towards a better purpose, and that's growing the sport and increasing opportunities for young anglers. And so this fall, with Logan Parks Fishing Foundation, we're putting on a tournament in Auburn, Alabama. It's going to be November 12th on Lake Martin, and Abu Garcia is the presenting sponsor of it. It's the High School College Chaos Tournament.
Nice.
So it's a super unique format where we're actually taking a college kid as the boater, and he's going to get randomly paired up with a high school angler as his fishing partner. They're going to have a draft where the college angler can actually pick his partner. And then it'll be a one-day tournament. It'll be fast-paced, catch, weigh, release. Every fish counts, but with a twist. We're going to have several different rounds throughout the day. We're going to have some awesome payouts. I think we're going to do $15,000 for first place. And we got a couple scholarships for the high school anglers. It's going to end up being over $120,000 in total scholarships and payouts for the young anglers. It's going to be awesome. And then not to mention the recruiting opportunities that it creates for these high school kids. We've got over 15 of the top schools in the country participating, and these high school kids can come and meet with these coaches, these presidents, showcase their skills actually on the water with a student that goes to that school. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a really great event, and hopefully something that is successful. It goes on for years to come.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It sounds awesome and chaotic.
It's gonna be chaos.
So what's the deal? How do they do it? How do the high school and the college anglers get involved in this? It sounds pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, so if you're interested, reach out to me on social media. I've got a lot of videos on my Instagram and my Facebook page explaining. I'm not going to go too much into the weeds on like the actual tournament day, but it's going to be chaotic. And so if you want to learn more about that, go to my social media, check that out. And go to the Fishing Chaos app or website to sign up if you're a high school or college angler, or if you just want to read more about it, read the rules, check that out. Go to Fishing Chaos and look for the High School College Chaos Tournament.
Nice. FishingChaos.com?
Yeah, FishingChaos.com.
Okay, cool. And if anybody wants to sign up, November Derb, $15K, that's a lot of tackle for a high school kid.
Yeah, we're hoping to create all kinds of opportunities for these students that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise. Maybe they can put that money towards helping to afford to go to college, or maybe a college angler can use his portion of it to give it a go in the opens, because I graduated from college, jumped right into the opens, and I obviously know how expensive and tough of a financial, road that you've got ahead of you if you're in that position. So hopefully through this event that, it'll help impact those kids' lives in a way that they can pursue their dreams like I've been able to.
Yeah. He's a good kid, Mike. He's using his money wisely. We might not have done that at his age, Mike.
That's awesome. Well, it's just great to see, all the if you're an angler and you want to grow the sport, you got to think about things like this. You got to try to have an impact, and it's awesome that you're doing this. And they're the kind of things that can make a difference and grow the sport. So that's awesome. Logan, one thing though, if at registration you got all these kids showing up, high school and college anglers, if you see Pat in line, don't let him fish.
Van Wilder. Yes.
Yeah, he's way too old.
Van Wilder.
Obviously not in high school or college, with that hair, it gives it away. So don't let Pat fish this event.
I'm ineligible.
Right. You have to put on a disguise.
But you know what, Mike? The whole Bass Galaxy tonight was eligible for a Revo spinning reel from Abu Garcia, just because you're cool, Mike, and Logan's even cooler. So Abu, that's what Abu said. So they're giving away a Revo spinning reel to a lucky member of the Bass Galaxy.
Heck yeah. Good reel, too.
I'm loving the new Revo spin reels. I only have one of them, though. I just got the Rocket. I only have one spin pole in my whole boat.
Yeah. The Rocket's awesome.
Hey,
the Rocket's awesome.
all you need.
I like it. Maybe they'll send out a Rocket. But hey, Logan, do you have the lucky winner's name?
I do. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Oh yeah, you can. Here it is.
The winner of tonight's giveaway is Mark Heaton. Mark, congratulations.
Mark Heaton.
Brand new Abu spinning reel.
There you go. Congratulations. And Mark, if you're
Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. Mark, you won.
All right. Hey, so Logan, he's going to be swinging in Texas, and Ike, you're going to be swinging in Texas. So
yes.
Yeah, come January. So best of luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, best of
luck.
You know
it.
Logan at the deal. And Logan, thanks for coming on and talking to us about that deal. And for all the high school anglers and college anglers that are watching, are going to listen to this tomorrow. Mike, our next guy that's coming on to hang out with us, Mike, he's a dean. Yeah, he's actually actually a dean. So Logan,
Dean Rowe?
Yeah, Dean. Yes. Logan, thank you so much. Congratulations on making the Bassmaster Elite Series, and you're doing amazing things with the collegechaos.com or fishingchaos.com. That's what it is, right? Fishing.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to next year. I'll see you out there in Texas.
Yes, sir. We'll see you there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is. Give it up for Logan Parks, Bassmaster Elite Series angler. Yeah, bud. Woo! That's what I'm saying. All right, here we go, Mike. This guy right here is very dear to both of our hearts. Look behind you. No, to your left, to your right, to your other left, to your other right. I know you're a ghost hunter, Mike. You love the paranormal. Normal. You're a ghost hunter. Do we have him, Andy, or no? Ladies,
nah, no, Pat, I'm going to tell you right now, he's not connected yet because he's having his coffee. He's having his coffee.
His coffee hour. It's coffee hour in Lemonade, New Jersey.
Coffee. So he can't connect right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Dean of the Bass Galaxy. Dean.
And he's got his coffee.
He's got his coffee. It's the one and only Pete Gluszek. Yes. Welcome to the show, Pete.
Somebody say Ike so I can have a drink.
Ike.
Yo, Pete. Yeah.
Mike, what's this guy doing here? What's he doing here?
I don't know, but the first things first, Pete, how about them fills? Go fills.
Man.
Come on, man.
It's like a home run derby fest. What the heck is going on?
It was like a home run derby fest. Dude, it reminded me of watching MLF back when it was unlimited fish, which it's going to be again. And, you know, like when Wheeler's winning and he knows what the score is. And
I like how you're doing this.
An hour left. And he just keeps pummeling them mothers. It's the same thing. And I loved it because it teaches, it's like, like I like it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
They don't let off the throttle, and it's pretty awesome. And you know what? It's going to be super awesome down in Arizona because I think half the stadium is going to be a sea of red with Phillies fans making the road trip, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be strong there.
Wild.
Speaking of Arizona, real quick, shout out to B Height. I don't know if you've been following that with social media, but fishing the U.S. Open on the first day. Super crazy incident where a bird hit him. Was worried he might lose a sight. I got to see a post he made today or this evening, and he's going to be okay. He's kept his eye, everything. So
wait a second, Mike. I don't know about this. So B Height got hit by a bird at the Open.
Yep. U.S. Open first day, one of those freak things. We've all had it happen. Listen, if you drive a bass boat, if you drive a bass boat, you've had.
I've taken him to the chest. Yeah.
You had close call. This one hit him blindside, square in the face. Pretty good injury. He was full out, but the big worry was, he was going to lose one of the eyes. So he's good. He's recovering.
Excellent. Okay.
Shout out to B Height for sure.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah. It's crazy. I just I was watching that before while I was waiting, and I saw that video, and he's pretty. It's crazy to see the scarring and the stitches, and I mean he got smashed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big bird. I've been hit by big bugs before. Like giant bumblebees.
That was so Pete. That was so Pete right there. Yeah. Just flew in from Vegas, and boy, are my arms tired. Yes. What kind of bugs, Pete?
Pat. Big bumblebee hits you at 70 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, that hurts,
man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's like getting shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you would notice. You would notice that.
Definitely.
Hey, Pete, it's great to have you back on the Straight Cast Show, and you look smarter than ever, Pete. You really do. You look like a wise Bassin gnome, kind of. You do. You're a very wise Bassin gnome. And with that being said, Pete, I got to ask you, give me the Dean's opinion on the state of bass fishing right now. The state of bass fishing right now.
Oh.
Yeah, what's your opinion on the worldwide Bass Galaxy state of bassin'? What's your opinion?
All right, I'm diving into it. I know you were avoiding this topic.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Mike.
Forward-facing sonar is a great thing. Is a great thing for the sport. It's getting the kids engaged early.
Ooh.
They're you know this, Mike. You saw what Vegas can do with it so quick. I'm seeing it with my son Jake. I'm seeing kids that would get bored and lost out with an 8-hour fishing trip with dad. Now they're engaged right out of the gate.
Okay.
Because they can see what's unfolding underwater. And I think it's great. I think it's bringing a crappie anglers and like a massive wave into that sport, because people are coming back to it. They're having good experiences. They're able to go out and they're involved in the hunt, whereas before they were just watching a cork and hoping it went down. So I think this is a way to get people engaged quicker into the sport. It's fascinating to me, so I'm all in on it. I think it's a really, really good thing, and I think it's going to bring a lot of new people to the sport.
Interesting perspective.
Nice take on it. Yeah,
hey,
I like it.
Hey, you're always a glass half full guy, Pete, and I really like that about you. Yeah, for real. And everybody.
Well, you look at the killers like you just had Logan Parks on, and we had JT Tompkins on the Bass U podcast yesterday, and these guys have dove into it so quick, and they're so good with it, but they're catching fish with it like on an Arky jig. And they're doing things with it that are really, really cool, and they're just absolute killers. And I enjoyed having JT on the show, and with the exception of the fact that he was just really pushing the fact that the sport seems to be getting younger and younger, and I feel like I might be getting pushed out. I'm not sure.
Was he bullying you, Pete? Was JT
maybe a little
bullying
bit,
you?
A little bit.
Huh. Mike, you got to in the bag line. You're gonna have to be like, "Hey, JT, what are you doing bullying my guy Pete? What the WTF wrong with you, guy? You know what I mean? Give him some jersey, dude."
Hey, he's earned it, man. That was a year for the ages. 9 tournament trail, winning the points, expanding his lead on the last day. Just so competitive, and man, I'll be honest, I was really rooting for Bobby Lane, and oh my gosh.
Us too. BD Bobby, we wanted him. We wanted it swinging in the elites again, no doubt, no doubt. You know who's super competitive, Mike? It's Pete Gluszek. Yeah. He's a derber as well. Yeah. And you know what we did, Mike? We probed Ronnie Moore for Pete.
Oh no.
Yeah. For Pete. Yeah, we probed him again. Double probing for Ronnie Moore, and we got Pete's stats. Now,
now, wait a minute. I listened to Mike's stats. Yes. I'm a little apprehensive about going into my stats after listening to Mike's getting $10,000 a derb every time you show up. I mean, come on.
All you got to do is show up, Pete. He's that much of a bass and rock star. Guy shows up, Ray Scott's cutting him a check for $10K.
Right? Dude, we are going to meet. I'm getting with Becky. You are going to fish tournaments for the rest of your life. I mean, at $10,000 a derby, you're going.
Not Pete. I don't know. Andy calculates them. We probe Ronnie. And I give the information to Andy, and he calculates them. So I got to tell you, you fished. Do you know how many derbies you fished under Ray Scott's format?
Under like 100 in the teens,
69.
Something like that.
69.
169.
It's 123, Peter. 123. Yeah, not too bad. Now you have caught in your BASS career 2,828 pounds of bass, Mike. 2,828 pounds of bass Pete has caught. That's a lot of LBs.
That's a ton. That's a ton of bass, literally.
Yeah, that's like a bigger than your Suburban you used to drive on tour. You know what I mean? that's that. Now, okay. All right. So get this, Pete and Mike. Mr. Gluszek has won $336,640. Yeah, that's a lot of rubles in New Jersey. Back in the day. So, Andy, with that all being said, Ginger Ninja, how much per pound does Mr. Gluszek average each fish?
All right, Pete, we got two stats, just like we did Mike.
Uh-oh.
So per pound, you're making $119.03.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wait a minute, Mike. That's not bad.
No.
That's really good. It's still better than the gold guys that look for the mine the gold.
Yeah.
Wait,
Pete, that's a 4-pounder's almost $500. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, per derb, you're making $2,736.90.
$2,000 for the Dean each derby. Just showing up. Cutting them a check.
Right. It's a good stat.
Not bad stats.
We'll take those stats. You know, I mean, they're not ice stats, but they're not bad. All right, we'll take them.
Yeah, I mean, your friend's a Hall of Famer, though, Pete. So we must expect the excellence of the Hall of Famer for real.
Yeah.
I
want to let me say this real quick, Pat. Why I'm here, because rarely are me and Pete on the same podcast, not in the same room.
Okay.
So this is cool and strange at the same time, but. I said it's the Hall of Fame, but I want to make sure I say it on your show. Pete, thank you for everything over the years. You have been my biggest mentor, coming from a state where I didn't know anything. Nobody did it. You were the guy to help me along this path. And I would not be here today without your help, Pete. And I cannot never repay you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That is absolutely awesome. Beautiful. That's beautiful, Mike. Beautiful, Pete.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to hear you say that. And I appreciate that so much. And it's been a wild ride. We'd both be in Australia right now if you didn't win the Classic.
Probably right. Yeah.
but it's been an honor, honestly. It's been an honor to have a front row seat for a lot of this as it went down. It's been a thrill to watch some of those great wins, and just amazing. From the time when Larry Nixon was walking by our hotel room, just laughing at how much of a disaster we both were with tackle exploding. Like Larry Nixon, I mean, every hair on his head is in place. And me and Mike had like two massive tackle, stores erupted with
explosions,
respooling operations, no place to stand, Arby's on the mattress somewhere, and just going from that to being at the Classic, experiencing that tremendous win. That drive home was one of the most memorable events that I'll have in my lifetime, as we were so excited, so thrilled that, we were trying to craft a career, what do we do? We got, I can't believe this happened. And it really did. And you really did it. It's, that was amazing times. And, so many amazing times. You know what I want to remember with you now is he was a bit of a lady killer.
Oh, really?
I heard
Pete?
him deny it.
Really?
You know?
Oh, okay.
But
interesting.
we had you
All
know,
comes out
I
in the
remember
wash.
we would fish tournaments, and man, we would leave it at the Derby. We would just unload everything, and that. But then when the Derby was over, we just let our hair down. And I remember Buckhead Ridge in Georgia,
Atlanta. Oh
yeah. I remember trying to find a place to park our trucks and boats. We were like trying to find hotels like where, you know, we could just dump our stuff and get into town. And of course the classic celebration, like I've told this before, the greatest, and this will always be the case, the greatest cheeseburger I have ever had in the history of the world was after that celebration. Like the sun was about to come up and we're starving and we're walking down Bourbon Street and nothing's open, and just the beacon of light of the White Castle sign. And, oh man, we got as many burgers as they would sell us, Pat. Like we just just give us food.
That's outstanding.
Grease. And we needed the grease. Yeah, the grease was very important, you know.
There's something about White Castle that's for sure.
I remember sitting on the curb in Bourbon Street. Your feet are in the street. We're sitting there. There's no tables. There's no places. I think they just were giving us food, get out of the restaurant kind of thing. And we just ate on the street, on the curb at Bourbon Street. That was awesome. Best cheeseburger in the history of the world. I'll never have another one as good.
I
remember having sushi. What's that, Mike?
No, I was just going to say, I remember that too. That was amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. I remember sushi with Aaron Martins. I know you guys talked about it.
Yeah.
But we spent a few dinners and evenings with Aaron that were absolutely priceless. You know, I'll never forget the guy. I think about him often as well as you guys do. I remember going to the New York City for the Jimmy V Foundation. I remember doing that with you. I remember going to Washington, D.C. where we, you know, Pat, we were dressed in tuxes.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Black tie event. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy cow.
That was super cool. Parties at Main Street and Voorhees at the condo was you never forget them. And of course, the bachelor parties. You know?
The multiple bachelor parties.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Like Mike
Look at Mike. Well, he's like Pete Ixnay on the bachelor party snay.
Hey, nah, we like Mike said, we went over the top with probably how many coffees we drank.
Okay,
but you know,
Mike,
we kept it. But I remember when we were both single. I remember, of course, you remember Finnegan's Wake, Mike.
Oh,
remember that?
That was the spot. Yeah,
that was the spot. You remember why it was the spot?
Well, I remember Finnegan's Wake, Pat, with a little Irish bar.
Okay.
And one of the beauties of that bar, being a single male, was it was a place that the bachelorette parties would go to. And the beauty of a bachelorette party is there's always someone in that party. So I'll give you the example. You got 10 girls in this party.
Yeah.
And of course, one of them's getting married.
Yeah.
2 of them are married.
And the rest are horny.
3 of them are engaged.
Yeah.
And there's always 1 or 2 or 3 that are feeling so sorry for themselves that they're not engaged or married or whatever. And I mean, they were fun because they wanted They were the ones Pete and I were looking for.
Yeah, and you guys are bass fishermen, so you're opportunists. You have to capitalize on opportunity when it knocks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But some fun nights over in Philadelphia with you, Pete, all over the country. That was a fun time, man.
Unreal.
Fun time.
And I know, hey, Mike,
I
know Gluszek was quite the ladies' man too back in the day. Let's not overlook this. Let's not overlook that. So.
100%.
We were all envious of Byron Velvet. I gotta be straight. Like, I've never seen that. He was that guy, Pat. He was that guy that would walk in, and I never saw it. Like, just the ladies would just unbelievably swarm to him. It was pretty spectacular.
Well, they put him on TV, for crying out loud, on a show where ladies were going to swoon over him. So that tells you something.
Yeah. So that's why me and Mike had to angle for the bachelorette parties, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We had to have a strategy. You know?
Yes. That's the thing. And it may be a little bit of growing up here where we grew up on the tidal Delaware River, and place where 2.5 2-pounder is a big one.
Yeah.
You know, Pete and I weren't ever casting at them 7 and 8 pounders. We casted them 2 and 2.5 pounders all day long, and they're easier to catch. You know what I'm saying? They're a lot easier to catch than 7 8 pounds.
You're burning up that school,
Well, listen, they fight just as good. In some cases, they fight harder. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's outstanding. Very amazing analogy. That's a Hall of Famer type analogy, Mike. Only Hall of Famers can come up with those type innuendos. Hey, Mike, we were talking earlier about how you are a master brander. Master brander. He's a master brander, Pete. And you know what, Pete? You're a master brander, too. And you guys are both involved from the get-go in a very important brand in bass fishing history, and that's Bass University. One of the first formats where just a weekend angler could learn firsthand from a bass fishing professional and everything they wanted to know. And you guys put that deal together. What year was that, Pete? Was that like in 2008 or something? What?
It was after the crash of 2008. It was 2009. I think we rolled out the first year. You know, and 2008 is what really triggered it, because you know, sponsorship was really challenging at that time, and you know, with the economy crashing, you know, for those of you that were around at that time, so we were looking for a way to you know, offset some of the sponsor losses and you know, those types of things. And we had loved teaching. We had loved being part of this program. You know, it's a long story, but the ESPN purchased Bass. They killed the educational program at Bass, and it lay dead for a while. And Mike called me up, and he's like, "Pete, let's do it." And it's the time, because we had been talking about, you know, doing it ourselves, doing it the way we wanted to do it, doing it, you know, what we thought was, after living this life and competing, and you know, we felt like we really could help anglers and you know, teach them the way that and if, you know, from the lessons that we had learned. And you know, we started this program, and it was, you know, it was like any business, Pat. It's hard to get it up and off the ground, and we labored and we struggled, but we traveled around. We went to California, we went to Florida the first year that we were there. We spent all of our income on drinks and dinners.
Of course, business expenses. Yes, of course. All in the name of Bassin. Yes.
Yeah, but it was so much fun. Like, we would be, you know, staying after, hanging out with students and the speakers, and we were so excited about the program, and we kept building it, and then we met our partner from Northern Lights Production, Jeff Olson, and we began filming them to be able to release through Bass University TV, which is, you know, which has been, you know, just a great success story for us. But that started, man, 7, 8, 9 years. Can't remember exactly, but we launched that. Now we have subscribers in 13 different countries.
Yikes!
We have, we have, just a great core of people that, and they constantly remind you, like I love going to the opens. Like, I retired from the top level tournament trails pretty much when Bass University started a few years after. And but I love fish. I always love tournament fish, and I just love it. Gets me to a level 10, Pat. Like,
I can tell.
Hardly anything that can do that like tournament bass fishing can. And I love it. So I fish the tournaments, fish the BFLs at times, and I meet people all over the country that are just they thank you for Bass University. It's helped them catch fish consistently. It's maybe helped them win their club, maybe help them win a major tournament. We've had anglers make the Classic utilizing tournaments from Bass University. A ton of the top tier anglers out on tour.
Randy Howell stole stuff off of Mike to win the Classic from Bass University, and I say that in a kind way. I mean, it's all in a good. But right, Mike, didn't he get a little bit of something from you?
It's quite possible. But I think Pete has skirted this topic. I just want to jump back to it, which is, when a business is successful, at its core, the owners of the business, the people that run the business, have to love it. And I can tell you that Pete and I love teaching more than anything. Like, I can honestly say that when I look at my career, it's one of the most rewarding things I'm engaged in is those moments when I'm getting to pass on information and help people, instruct people.
Nice.
I love it. Pete loves it. And that's why the Bass University is so special for us, and why it's done well is because we're passionate about it. And then, the other part to it, and I've mentioned this before on our live show, but I wanted to mention it here, is when we started this, it wasn't just about building something for us because we like to teach. It wasn't just about building a business to get 100,000 subscribers. It wasn't about that. It was about providing an avenue for our friends, our fellow pros, to make a living.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm really proud of that, Pat. I want to make sure I say that because, we've never tried to stiff or railroad or not pay an angler his worth to pass on that information.
That's
awesome. That's happened so much in our sport.
Oh.
All of us can go back in the history of our careers and remember times when we were railroaded into working for nothing.
100%.
I'm very, very proud that, to this day, we're providing an avenue. We're paying these guys they're the best in the world. But they've got the best information in the world. They're the best at that lure or that technique. And we want to pay them for that knowledge. And they're getting to teach people, and it's awesome. And I'm happy we're there to provide that for these guys.
And they appreciate, and you could tell that the anglers who you hire appreciate that they are being compensated accordingly. And I think that kind of lets them give out a little bit of extra dirt. You know what I mean? Or some sneaky stuff that they might not talk about if they were trying to get out of there right away, if that makes sense. That is the coolest thing about Bass University. Here it is. I have never seen a format where anglers would give away things that they shouldn't give away as far as knowledge to catch bass. They accidentally do it with you guys. And it's like, okay, watch this stuff. Watch the JT Kenny flipping video. He gives away so much. Watch Iaconelli's cold cranking video, okay? Watch Seth Feider's video on flukes, on the smallmouth deal. And, I mean, these guys give away stuff that you would not expect to be given away. And it's all there at Bass University at their fingertips. Not just the live show, not the seminars that you guys put on in the winter. Those are awesome too, but the archives that live, come on, dude. Where else
it's
are you
amazing.
gonna find that?
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'll let Pete speak to how much material's there, dude. It's a vault of the very best information out there. But here's the thing I want to make sure that you know is that this would never happen in any other sport. Like, it's so unique and rare what we're providing, because if you look at baseball or football or golf or tennis, none of you would never have the current pros give away what they do. But in fishing, fishing is different. Fishing is way more grassroots. And, when these guys are delivering their seminars, they're just regular dudes. All of a sudden, Lee Livesey is not Lee Livesey. He's a regular dude.
Yeah.
And that connection is very unique in fishing. And I don't think you see it in any other sport. But very, very proud of that library of information. I think it's the most incredible bank of bass fishing info out there, period.
It's not, it's
very,
like
very proud of it.
Mind-blowing knowledge, for real. Like, if you think, if you want to learn to do anything in bassing, and I'm sure you're adding all Pete Gluszek's periscope and forward facing. Pete calls it the periscope, by the way, Mike. He's going back. But all those videos are there. Now, here's the one thing, Pete. I got to ask you this. When do the classes, the in-person classes, start this year? I love those. When do those start?
Oh, we're starting in January like we always do.
Okay.
And we got great classes this year. We're actually putting our curriculum and our speakers together right now, and I can't wait to announce it, because we have some very innovative. We try to be right. We try to be at the cutting edge, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. And we're excited about this year with some exciting new speakers and continuing to develop techniques and tactics that are going to help people catch fish. But we're going to be in Texas, Athens, Texas. So much fun down there at the Texas Freshwater Fishery Center.
Nice.
We're going to be in Shreveport. We haven't been there for a few years. In Louisiana. Mike, we might have to make a run down to Bourbon Street. It's a little bit of a ride.
A little bit of White Castle on the curb.
Yeah, we'll make the drive. Fine.
Yeah, we're going to be in Gadsden, Alabama, and Anderson, South Carolina. So
nice tour.
The classes are on thebassuniversity.com. It's an early bird special going on right now. So get your tickets now if you can. We got a really great deal early bird special going on. And here we go again. It's like it's getting bigger and better every year. Our classes, last year we had advanced as we're going to go back into forward facing sonar, Pat. We had people on site to help with questions, how to set your units, how to install them, what you got to do.
As you should.
We're going to be diving into that again at this year's classes, and it's just such a popular topic. People want to know, and it's going to be a great year this year. So that's starting out in January when it's cold. Yeah. And look for this, Pat. You need to come down.
I want to have me out, Pete. I'd love to come down and see you guys again.
Athens, Texas. We have last year we had a Bass U meetup. Mike, you missed it.
Yeah, I missed all that wonderful weather that you had.
Yeah,
we had the ice storm of the century where we went fishing with the people at the class at Lake Athens, and this ice storm hit.
Oh no,
Dallas. It was intense. It knocked our power out.
Oh,
none of the people that were coming to fish with us, they could get their boats to the launch ramp. There was ice. You just couldn't get anywhere. And we had fires, transformer fires. We had to accommodate some firewood from the neighboring houses.
Wow, that's a Bass U, all right. Holy cow.
Yeah. We had Lee Livesey come hang out with us. He was filming and he couldn't get back home. So he come and hung out at the Bass University house, and we drank beer and told lies and waited for the electric to come back on.
Oh, goodness gracious. Bassuniversity.com. Sign up for the early bird special right now.
Yes, sir.
Boys, I know you're both fans of the sport. We know that. Pete is just a bigger fan, if not a bigger fan, than you and I, Mike. But I'm going to put you guys both on the spot right now at the little Stray Cast game show.
Oh.
Yeah. It's about bass fishing tournaments. And I am going to give you a a bass fishing tournament, guys, and you tell me who the winner of that event is.
Oh,
Fair enough?
All right. Let's do this.
I mean, it's not easy. This is not an easy game. I got to tell you, it's going to be challenging. But Ginge, are you ready? Or you want to give them a little bass fishing tournament winner trivia here on Stray Cast?
Wait, are we competing against each other? Or
Yeah,
we a team
you're no, you're competing against each other. Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah. This is I'm going to tell you, Pete. Mike, tell him to hold on a minute.
Hold on a minute, Pete.
Hold on a minute, Pete. Here comes the rules.
Hold on a minute.
Quit your misbehaving. Y'all misbehaving, Mr. Gluszek. All right.
Hold on.
Where's my button? Where's my Jeopardy button?
Pete, you're going to get to go first. I just decided. Are you ready?
Okay. Pete goes first.
Okay. Ready?
Age before dude. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Pete Gluszek.
Come on.
Who is the winner of the 2002 Georgia Bassmaster Tour event? The 2002 Georgia Bassmaster Tour event. I'm leaving out certain information, but who's the winner of the 2002?
In Georgia?
Yeah.
That had to be Lake Seminole. Was that Mike?
That's Mike Iaconelli. That's correct. The answer is Mike Iaconelli. See, I didn't say Lake Seminole because I know you didn't know. Okay, are you ready? So, Pete, you want to keep the ball? It's just like horse. You want to keep the ball or you want to pass it to your buddy?
Well, I'll keep it. If
Okay.
they're going to be softballs like that, I'll keep it.
He's keeping the ball. Okay.
Mike Iaconelli.
Wait, no, hold on. Pete.
Correct.
Okay, are you ready for the next question, Pete?
Come on.
Yeah. Who finished second in the 1999 Alabama Invitational on Lake Martin?
Oh.
Who finished second in that event?
Oh, that was the tournament director.
Trip Weldon. Trip Weldon. And who won that event?
Pete Gluszek.
Pete Gluszek, bitches. That's right. That's correct. Mikey's smoking you so far in this game.
He'll continue to smoke me.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Pete, are you passing it to your friend or are you keeping the ball?
Let's pass it. I'm getting nervous.
Okay, he's getting nervous. Harder. Mike Iaconelli, Bass Fishing Hall of Fame member, Bass Classic winner, AOY winner, in Bass Trophy winner, everything winner. You're just a winner, Mike. Who came in 42nd place in the 2013 Bassmaster Classic, Mike?
42nd place?
Yeah, 42nd place.
Had to be Pete Gluszek.
It's Pete Gluszek, bitches. That's right.
Hey,
it's Pete Gluszek. You're doing great, Mike. You're doing good. You're going to keep the ball or you're going to pass it back to Pete?
I'm going to keep it.
You're going to keep the ball. I like your style.
Roll too. Yeah.
I like your style.
I'm going to roll too. Yeah.
Mike Iaconelli, who is the winner of the 2012 Northern Open on Cayuga?
Oh, man, I'd have to say Pete Gluszek.
It's Pete Gluszek, bitches. That's correct.
But wait a minute. I'll take it a step further.
Oh, okay.
One of the baits he used in that win was a black Senko.
Black Senko!
Anyone surprised?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. The ladies used to call Pete Black Senko back in the day.
They did.
That's
they did.
A little. All right, now this is for all the rubles. Are you ready? Are you ready? This goes to Pete Gluszek. Pete? Who is the wait, what does my writing say? Who is the 2009 postseason event number 1 of the Elite Series champion? 2009 Elite Series postseason event number 1 in Alabama.
In Alabama?
Yeah, in Alabama.
I have no idea. It's Ike. It's got to be Ike.
It's Mike Iaconelli on Lake Jordan. That's correct. And Pete Gluszek, you have won. Mike, because you're already in the Hall of Fame and you won everything else, we're giving this to Gluszek.
He deserves it.
He does deserve it. He does deserve it. But good job. You guys know about each other.
More than we can say.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Black Senko. Hashtag Black Senko. Hey, all right. What's really cool, Mike, is that when I was talking to Pete earlier on the phone, he's like, hey, we want to do something cool for the Bass Galaxy, and we want to give away a year's subscription to Bass University.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I thought it was very awesome. And also he said, hey, and don't worry, if they're already a member of Bass U, we're going to extend it a year. So everybody can win. And all they had to do was like and share the live Facebook feed, and they had a chance to do this. Now, Pete, does Pete have it or does Mike have it? Pete, do you want a fanfare or a drum roll, or do you want hula dancing girls? What do you want to announce this winner?
Man, you're gonna have to pause that because I got to get to it.
Mike, we're making him do technical stuff. He needs to go to the forward-facing Periscope class to learn how to use.
I've powered up Mega Live. I got it.
Okay, he's got. Pete, who is the winner? Here we go.
The winner of Bass University, a year subscription, is Lenny Speed.
Lenny, what?
Hey!
Yo, Lenny.
Yo, Lenny. Yo,
Lenny. You're going to come over there, Sizzle Chest, and you're going to give you a Bass University subscription.
Yep.
Start tomorrow.
But he's only permitted to activate it if he's a Phillies fan.
Oh. So, okay, one more time. What's his name? Lenny what?
Lenny Speed.
Speed?
Speed,
No,
like going fast.
Yeah, but you can't say speed. You got to say speed-eed.
Yeah,
like that.
Like, are you saying road? Road.
Yeah. There's one of those little marks over the letter. It's what is it? An umte? An umfe? A little, a little ting ting. So speed like that.
Speed. They call that a taint. That little mark is a
yeah, it's a taint. Little teeny mark there.
That was amazing. Thank you guys. For doing that with the Bass University, by the way. And Mike Iaconelli, thank you so much for coming back on the Stray Cat Show. We're so happy to have you back, and we can't tell you how excited we are and happy for the whole Iaconelli family of your success at this sport, dude. For real. Cool deal. Cool.
I appreciate it.
Deal, Mike.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me back on. It means a lot.
Yeah,
I really
man.
appreciate it.
And you, Pete, you're my brother from another mother. Some of my fondest memories are hanging out with Pete Gluszek and listening to you snore in hotel rooms.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, you are. And Pete, let's have you back on again before the Bass U stuff starts in January, okay?
Yeah, when we announce, maybe we'll announce Top Secret. We'll announce it on your show.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa,
hold on.
The Top Secret speakers that we have lined up are going to be. We're very excited about them. We could do that.
This just in: Pete Gluszek back in December to give exclusive information on Bass University. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. That's amazing. Mike, you're a Bass Fishing Hall of Fame member. Mike, you're a Bass Fishing Hall of Fame member. Mike, you're a Bass Fishing Hall of Fame member.
Crazy. Hard to believe.
Unreal.
Hard to believe. Never gets old hearing it, but it's hard to believe it. It's amazing. Definitely a dream come true. And man, so happy, Pete. So happy we were together for the ride. It's amazing.
You're royalty now, dude. For real. You're a blue coat. You're freaking royalty. It's a real thing.
I think we need to adjust your brand in the way that, like, for all future announcements forever and all time, it's not. This is Mike Iaconelli, Elite. It's Hall of Famer Mike Iaconelli.
Oh, I love it.
The new contract.
I love it. And you know what else we need to do? You know how Mike, you had the sexy photo shoot for your book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need a sexy Mike Iaconelli photo shoot in the blue jacket. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Work that out.
It wouldn't look anything like those other pictures,
A lot more wrinkles on the tats.
Yeah, but no, that never gets old. And it's a lot better hearing that title than New Jersey Scrub. So like that better, like that one.
Bass Galaxy, give it up for no longer Scrub, Mike Iaconelli, and no longer scrub to Dean Pete Gluszek. And Mike, put the blue jacket on Pete sometime and have him do the Farley thing on the Ike Live. You know what I mean? That guy in a blue coat, bass guy in a blue coat. That's it. Hey, we love you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks,
Pete.
Pat.
We'll
see
see
you soon.
Peace.
See you, Mike.
There it is. Mike Iaconelli and Pete Gluszek. Bass you guys. Love it. That was a show, man. And yikes. They go by. The last two ones are marathons. I don't know. And next week we got KVD. So that should be pretty interesting. Talking with Kevin. Thank you very much, Bass Galaxy, for tuning in tonight. Of course, all this on the podcast tomorrow. Thank you to Abu Garcia for contributing, also to the Bass University for your contributions. Mike Iaconelli, yeah, awesome. Logan, amazing. Yeah. Pete Gluszek, amazing. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week. Same Bass time. Same Bass channel. Thank you, Ichikawa, Razor Sharp, Poisonous Hook, Sims Fishing, Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey, the official brown liquor of Bassin, Alpha Angler, home of the rebound. Once you go glass, you never go back. Cal Sag, Bass Anglers this weekend battle for the belt on the Cal Sag River. Hey, Waterland Sunglasses, we throw shade proudly with Waterland. Impulse Lithium Battery, we keep going. Don't skip a beat. Impulse Lithium Battery. Bob's Machine Shop, we're all jacked up in our crest liner. Hey, Berkeley, Abu Garcia, all available from the fine people at OmniaFishing.com. Hey, take the power poles up, Bass Galaxy. We're going. We're sailing in this thin raft to happy destiny. We'll see you next week with KVD. This has been an Andrew Ellenberger Ginger Ninja production. I'm Pat Renwick. Peace.